Welcome back to Okaloosa today. I'm Doug Rayner with the City of Destin, and we're here on the Boardwalk project, the brand new boardwalk in the City of Destin along beautiful Desitn Harbor. I can't think of anybody who could speak to this better and the project better than Councilwoman Trammell. Thank you for joining us today.
Well, thank you. This is an absolute pleasure. I get more and more excited as this is getting closer and closer to completion.
Well, the reason why we're having the show out here today to highlight our boardwalk is because it's just about done, like you said, and it's been a long time coming. A lot of work has gone into this, a lot of people have been involved, but one reason why we wanted you here is to talk a little bit about where we came from and how we got here.
Well, you know, Doug, this really started with the original 16 families that lived on the harbor here in the 30s, believe it or not, and they turned it into a working harbor. And then it began to evolve and evolve, and then about 20 years ago, the City Council appointed a blue ribbon panel of the property owners along the harbor to talk about what we could do to improve the harbor and to get business down to the harbor, because it's such a beautiful place to be. So for 20 years, we've been hashing this out, but their recommendations 20 years ago were to develop a community redevelopment agency, and that's what it took us so long to do. And we did that. We earned our TIF monies, and then we got back with the property owners and said, okay, now we're ready. Let's go with this. We spent about 4 months in negotiations with the property owners and their attorneys and our attorneys, and everybody was just so excited about this project. We finally got easement signed, and our boardwalk is now about to be opened.
That's right. And
so excited.
Something I didn't mention, that you are the chair of the board for the Community Redevelopment Agency for the City of Destin. We're in the Harbor District here that sits along Destin Harbor and also crosses 98. Tell us a little bit about why this boardwalk is so important, and why is it important to our businesses here?
Well, since the beginning of Destin, this harbor has been the lifeblood of Destin, and it's one of the historical places in our town that we share with everyone. It's important to the business owners and to the fishermen and to the property owners here that people understand that and know that, and we preserve this part of town for this particular anything really. So that's why we're here.
Well, speaking of this part of town, we're actually sitting on the city's property on the harbor.
Yes, we are.
Right between Dewey, Destin's, and the Fisherman's Wharf, and it runs from Highway 98 right down to the water. Part of the plans for the boardwalk, and then is having a park here. Tell us a little bit about the park that we're going to have here.
Eventually, we'd like to have a little park here, and this is going to be the ingress and egress spot for the public citizens. If they don't come through any other business, this will definitely be dedicated for that. We want to have many, many activities on our little parcel here, just as many as all the property owners. But one of the things this has done is this has brought a cohesion to all the property owners along the harbor. They all wanted to be part of this. And I've not seen that in years, because it's always been individual businesses. And yes, they wanted to promote their businesses, but now they want to promote Destin. They want to promote the locals coming down here. They want not just for the tourists, but for everyone. This is the heart of Destin, and this is where we want to be.
Well, good. And you were on our show about 7 or 8 months ago when we were talking about getting this done. Now we have it done, and as you can see, probably it's really hot out here. It's June, but it's busy. People are here, people are moving around, they're using this boardwalk. Just from a citizen and tourist perspective, what do you think about what this means to them?
Well, I think it's an awe-inspiring thing. I actually came down here when we first started building, and we didn't have groins or the boards on the boardwalk yet, and it was just a big construction site earlier this year. But during spring break surprised me. Here were all these college students coming down here going, oh my gosh, we can actually walk from one end of the harbor to the other. This is so nice. Look what they're doing. Now they're bringing their families back for the summer. This has been such an impetus for our tourists as well as our locals. You can easily come down here and sit on any of our benches and watch the fishing boats unload, watch the people walk up and down, get your catch clean. It's wonderful.
All right.
I am just thrilled. I think all the businesses this year are seeing an upsurge in their business. I know we've seen an upsurge in the amount of tourists walking on the boardwalk, although this is the heat of the day, so I wouldn't expect too many of them to be here right now. But in the evenings, it's wonderful.
Well, good. Well, you mentioned the fish. We've seen them being caught and brought in and cleaned behind us. All this continuity that's been added is great. There's an aesthetic value to this too. It just looks good.
Yes, it does.
The feeling, that has to be a sense of pride with the council, with the CRA board and the advisory committee. I know staff has a sense of pride in how good this thing looks.
Well, you know, we were in the middle of a recession when we started getting down to the nuts and bolts of this. And everyone's demeanor was kind of low, and we were just trying to figure out what in the world we could do. This has brought everyone together. It's given everybody a sense of pride. We're so excited about all this. And if nothing else, every time we talk about Destin now, at least the second sentence is, have you seen the boardwalk?
That's right, that's right. Gives us something new to talk about.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Staff, I know, is really excited about getting this project done, but also it's something goes around our office talking about how important it was to stay on budget. It was a tight budget. Working with partners, or the property owners in a partnership was very trying at times to figure out how to keep the money just right, and it seemed to work. And I think the CRA board, I know the property owners and our staff should be commended for the work done down here, and we want to thank you for helping us with that.
Well, I had a very small part in that, but I will tell you the one thing that I did help to encourage and foster, but I didn't have to do it very much because everybody wanted it. If we ever had a little hiccup or a glitch in anything, the property owner was right here, but instead of complaining, they were sitting here saying, how can I help? How can we make this happen? This needs to happen this way. What can I do? And that was such a refreshing attitude. It was so easy to work with everybody down here. There's always going to be glitches and hiccups in projects like this, but to have everyone involved and to do that. Staff was great in making sure that we accommodated all the property owners' concerns. The city CRA advisory committee was great in making sure we had the easements that we needed to get this along. I'm just thrilled to be part of that.
Well, it's a great project, and we're all very proud of it. Let's look forward a little bit. We're going to have a ribbon cutting and kind of a grand unveiling of this boardwalk in June, June 20th. Let's tell our public a little bit about that. We have a few minutes left, and there's some things we want to encourage our businesses down here to do. Tell us about when the ribbon cutting will take place.
Well, the ribbon cutting is actually going to take place on June the 20th.
Right here,
at this spot. And everybody wants to be here. It's 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, yes.
9 o'clock in the morning, so hopefully we won't be in the heat too badly.
Yeah.
But after the ribbon cutting, we're expecting some dignitaries that you might not always get to see.
That's right.
So come down and enjoy all of this with us. But following that, we're going to have, we've started a new tradition with this boardwalk, and it's called a Taste of the Harbor. And we're literally inviting all of the restaurants on the harbor to participate in that, and people will go around and just get a little tasting of what they serve in their restaurant that makes it so special to be along the harbor.
That's right.
And I'm just thrilled to death. Everybody's jumping on board, and we're not going to have too many duplicates of anything, but you can just eat your way from one end to the other.
And that's a great thing, and we're in the process of actually putting that program together. So if there's any restaurants out there that want to be a part of the Taste of the Harbor or Taste of the Boardwalk, contact the City of Destin. You can ask for me, Doug Rayner. Call City Hall 837-4242 and let us know. The other thing we're doing is we're going to be doing a Key to the Harbor promotion that day. For anybody who comes by, they can get a key to the harbor as just a token that says you were here, you were part of the unveiling of this boardwalk, and that we're asking businesses down on the harbor to come around and offer a discount maybe to the locals. This is a locals promotion, something
only promotion
that you were a part of in trying to make this very special for locals.
Well, you know, it's real important. The locals have lived here most of their lives, if not all of their lives, and we don't want anyone to think this is just for our visitors.
Right.
It's for us as well. I consider myself a local. I've been here enough years. I won't say how many. But we're excited about that. And one of the things that we've done is we want to open it up to the whole Harbor District. If you want to participate in this key promotion, we're calling it, then get in contact with Doug let him know, because we want to have this unveiled on the 20th when we have our ribbon cutting, and you don't want to miss it.
That's right.
You don't want to be an add-on later, so that's wonderful.
Well, I really appreciate you being here today, Councilwoman Sandy Trammell, CRA Board Chair. This is just a great project. We're going to take a quick break and come back with Public Services Director Steve Schmidt to talk a little bit more about the project in detail, and he'll get into some aesthetics and the nitty-gritty of building this thing. Stay tuned.